Today what I'm going to show you is the Swivel Head torch from HTP. This is a really amazing little torch here. It's a standard water-cooled 20 size, but it's got this cool little swiveling head. And this will allow you to get in, if you're doing tubing work, if you're doing chassis work, or any kind of cage work, this is a really, really nice head to have. I've got a medium cap on it now. You can cut this down, cut down your electrode, your tungsten, and use a small cap and really get into places. I have a kind of a large cup here. I've got a number 7 cup on, but you can put any size cup that you want on there. The nice thing is that it allows you to get to places without having to do a lot of wiggling and squiggling and trying to jam yourself in there. I have it hooked up with a foot pedal right now. I think everybody knows I'm a foot pedal guy. I do have the HTP rotary control, which is absolutely an asset, and in a situation like this would probably be my choice if I was going to work on a cage. But as you can see, if you've got some tubing, a lot of times you have to go and wiggle around. This thing, you can just point it right where you want to go, and I'll tell you what, that really, really does make a difference. So the only downside that I see on this torch is that the lock on the bottom, this is actually a screw. It's very, very difficult to manipulate with your hands. So you really have to get like a little pliers and do that. But I did find that if you set it, now it's snug. If you alter the position of the lock screw on the bottom, you can orient this snug in any real position, 360 degrees. But I found that's not even really necessary for the most part. If you loosen it, it still retains enough tension where you can set it in a position that's comfortable for you to use if you were just using it in an ordinary torch kind of configuration. But if you did have to turn around and get behind something, you can move that. It doesn't wiggle around. So that really does give you a lot of latitude and make welding tubing and that sort of thing. You have to get into an airframe if you're working on experimental aircraft. This is really, really a terrific tool. As I said, there's 2 things I don't like about it. One is that, and the other is that the water cooling actually only goes into this portion. So if I unscrew this, you will see that the head gets its cooling kind of by osmosis. The head is cooled only in this area. Obviously, you couldn't have the cooling running up in through the head like this, because if you loosened it up, you'd have a little garden shower there. So, other than that, unless you're going to weld, 280 amps with this torch, which obviously is not even rated for, you're really not going to have too much of a problem. You will notice that it gets slightly warmer than a standard water-cooled torch, but again, nothing significant. That's not really a problem. As I said, the biggest gripe that I have is that little lock screw down there. It's just a little annoying to have to work on. I might have to actually make a new one. It's simply a screw that goes in there and tightens everything down and then allows you to lock the torch down in any position. But again, as I said, and I'm probably repeating myself here, I like to be able to move the torch in any configuration. And actually, if you move it 360 degrees, it still has enough tension. It's not going to wiggle around. So if you're not knocking your tungsten into anything, which you shouldn't be doing anyway, you have really a full 360 degrees worth of manipulative ability. And if you really get cool with it, you can actually manipulate it with your fingertip like that, which I have found to be really, really a slick deal. So there it is, HTP. Give them a call, 1-800-USA-WELD, or go to www.usaweld.com. This is the place. Tell them you saw it at hre.com, and they'll set you up. It's a nice piece, and I think you'll really like it.